What's cooking? You're very welcome to What's Cooking right here on City TV. My name is Apiorkor. Now, we're currently in the city gardens, and I just want you to have a sense of what Christmas in the city is like. I do wish you and yours the very best of the Yuletide. All right, now today my guest is very special. A few months ago, he and some of his friends, some of his guys, some of his peeps, they came together and they did something extraordinary. I don't want to give too much away right now, so I'm not going to tell you exactly who he is. But beyond that wonderful feat that they achieved, he is an astute businessman, a very successful one at that. He has a lot of character, he's extremely vibrant, but most importantly for today's show, he can hold it down in the kitchen. All right, so he'll be making some palava sauce with egusi. Look, a lot of people eat very interesting things at Christmas. We're Ghanaians, we're in Ghana, and fufu, ampesi, jollof, chicken. These are things that feature in Ghanaian homes, on Ghanaian tables when it's Christmas time, when the bronia comes around. So we'll be seeing some of that in the kitchen today. And the fact that this gentleman, when you meet him, you understand why. It's very powerful, very big man is here to do this. Shows you that Christmas, it is about, of course, Jesus Christ and his birth. It's about giving, but it's also a time when you get to see the family side, the wonderful side, the beautiful side, the soft side of some of the men and women that shake things up in this town, in this city, and around the globe. All right, don't forget, this show is sponsored by Tasty Tom. Mufa kakra na yebebre. We also have Indomie. Guess what? It tastes great. I don't think I needed to tell you that. You should know that by now. BVS Butchery. They've got everything. Look, it's the season to be jolly, right? And jolliness comes with food. So please go to them. They have all the meat you can think of. They've got seafood. They have fresh vegetables. They have fresh fruits. Literally a farm to table brand, produced right here in Ghana. And then Taste of Spice. Taste of Spice has all the spices that you need. There's jollof mix. Jollof mix is, amazing, crazy. All the things you need to, whether it's your guinea fowl or your, whatever it is, just go find the spices and spice up your life this Christmas with Taste of Spice. All right, let's go for a break. And when we come back, we get cooking. Welcome back. This is still What's Cooking right here on your station of choice, City TV. Now it's time for me to introduce my guest. And if you're just joining us, I'll just give you a little background as to what he's going to be cooking today. Some palava sauce with egusi. Do you understand? Do you understand the gold that meal is? I don't think you do. And the man who is coming to cook it, he turns the gold into diamonds and platinum. So let me introduce my guest for today, Mr. Kwadwo Saka. Woo. You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to have you. Looking very immaculate in white. I love it.
Since I'm a chef and most of the chefs wear white,
you're imbibing the spirit.
Why not show up in white?
No, I love it. I love it. So, it's great to have you here. For those of you who don't know who he is, I mentioned again earlier that a few months ago, how many months ago now was this that you did this?
In July.
July. Already? Already? That's 5 months.
We're already planning the next one.
No, I can't wait for it. I'm going on that one. I will wear skirts.
Okay.
I won't make you late.
And you won't do makeup.
And I won't do makeup.
Okay.
On a normal day, I don't even like to wear it.
Okay. Then you are good.
We're good to go. So he and his.
And you don't wear wig.
No. Hey,
no,
natural all the way. Natural all the way. Natural all the way. What I say is, I'm not shaming any of the wig girls, so I beg you. But a few months ago, he and a group of friends, they embarked on an amazing journey. A journey that was in the making since about 2019. Many people didn't even think they could do it. People didn't believe in their dream, but they drove by road. They traveled from Accra to London, and the whole world was all over it. But beyond that, he's a very successful businessman. Have you heard of Saka Homes? There you go. He builds and sells houses. So if you need a house, come and buy. I'm not saying it's giving you a house, buy. So let's go see how he holds it down in the kitchen like he does in the boardroom and on the road. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's still What's Cooking right here on City TV. My name is Apiorkor. Now it's time to get cooking, and as you can see, my guest, he doesn't waste time. He's a man of his word and he's a man of heart, and so he's got right into it. Oh yeah, Bema, you understand? Yeah, that's right. So Kwadwo,
when they say oh yeah, Bema,
it has many
it has many connotations.
It has many connotations across the board. See, I started dropping the bombs. I started dropping the bombs. He told me he was coming to drop bombs here and cause trouble. I started.
Today I'm not in the mood for trouble.
Okay. So today no mischief.
Yes.
Yeah, we are okay.
Just sincerity.
Just sincerity.
Not mischief.
I love it. I love it. So we have red onions which you're chopping up for your Apiorkor and Palava sauce with agushi. You kept mentioning momoni, so the momoni is here. I can see that that's a very key
it gives the food a different flavor. I was brought up by an old lady, and she would always put momoni in her nyadwa or kontomire. So I'm a momoni guy.
Momoni guy. Well, I love it too. I can't lie. And we've got our Scotch bonnet peppers, right? Yes, Scotch bonnets. They are here.
The universal is called green pepper and red pepper.
But you know why I like to do that? We have a lot of viewers, Ghanaians who are living abroad. When they watch, they don't know the names to go and mention in the shops.
In the shop. Oh,
so sometimes it's great to let people know so that wherever they are.
I'm learning myself. Yeah. Scotch
bonnets, yes. And then you know.
Bonnet like them.
Yes, exactly. Scotch bonnet. And then you know the paposhito. You know paposhito is different from this. Those ones look like
I would
tiny.
have called this paposhito.
You know, at a point in time, paposhito is what we were finding on our markets. Now you hardly see it. We find these. These are Scotch bonnets. The paposhito is actually very tiny and it looks like bells, like tiny green bell peppers. Okay. So they're actually called petit bells. Yes. A little lesson. So we have the pepper here.
So paposhito is called what?
Petit bells. Yes.
French bells.
French bells, yes. Okay. Petit bell. Yes. Okay. Exactly. All right.
But where from the name petit? Is it because
they're
it
small?
Has a French origin and
it has a French origin.
So are we okay to call it small bells?
Oh, well, why not? It means the same thing because they are called petit bell because the bigger bell peppers are bell peppers, and so you see them petit bells. Yeah.
Okay. Chaque fois que je vous vois, je suis content.
Oui. Je parle français un peu seulement. Tu parles français?
All the French I know is what I said.
What you say?
Anything after that.
On the table.
When I did my MBA, we learned some French. And I just met a French lady who I wanted to put a smile on the next time I meet her. So I invested in learning chaque fois que je vous vois, je suis content. I'm told it means whenever I see you, I'm happy.
Yes.
Yeah,
chaque fois literally means each time.
Each time I see you, yeah. So
yes.
I
hope some people are also learning the French. There's a lady in the crew in the background who is a French connoisseur. So.
Then I learned the other one, je t'aime.
Oh, I love you.
Yeah, so whenever I see you, I'm happy. Now I love you, not him. So.
I love it. I love it. I love you. I love you.
After that, we revert to English.
Back to English.
Ampesi.
I know, but you did well. And this is a man who goes all out for the woman he loves. Oh, I say you go all out for the woman. Your sisters, your mother, your cousins, your friends.
That's true.
You understand?
That's very true.
You've got a daughter.
I was just encouraging a guy here who has just divorced about his future. And I was telling him how to treat his woman. So, you're right.
I like that. Okay, so let's backtrack a bit. A lot of people may not even know your face, but they know your name, right?
Okay.
Saka Homes, Kwadwo Saka, real estate guru. Yeah, you know, real estate mogul, all of that, you know. But let's start from the beginning. You mentioned that your mom, you made a very fond statement, that your mom used to cook everything and momoni was a staple in your kitchen. Yeah. What was it like growing up? Do you have siblings?
Well, I grew up in a very simple Ghanaian family home. I have a sister.
Okay.
So usually it will be my sister and I at home while our parents are at work.
Okay.
My dad worked for SNET. My mom worked for the government.
Okay.
We attended Achimota from primary to secondary.
So were you in boarding school?
Yes.
For primary?
We went to primary at class 1.
So you're one of the people who started boarding school very early?
When we were 6.
Was it because your parents were busy?
Not really. It was a family trend. Okay. We had older cousins who had gone to Achimota boarding at an early stage.
Okay.
And it sort of happened to be the way the family went. So you go to Achimota primary, then from there you go on to secondary. Okay. If you didn't make it to secondary, then you'll be a family failure. So we had no choice but to study well and go. Because we lived without housemates, we learned to cook early. Because when my parents get back from work at about 5 o'clock, usually they would expect that there's some food. So my sister and I will usually do the cooking.
Was it just the two of you?
Yes.
Okay, so a boy and a girl. Who's older?
I'm older. I'm older.
Hello, crew.
I'm very confident in the meal I'm preparing, so I'm not.
So you want people?
I want them to enjoy, so that they will know that I just didn't say it, but I cooked it. So that's how I learned how to cook. Because my dad used to cook, I will spend time sitting with him and basically learning.
So let's pause. I'm just watching you. Look, so viewers, just look at how beautifully he's chopped all of this, right? Just look at that. Tomatoes, everything is done with precision.
Yes. The onions are going in first.
Okay.
Then after that, the pepper, then the momone. Then after a while, I'll put in the tomatoes.
What did you study in school?
In Achimota school, I studied visual arts.
Okay.
I was in the art school. From there, I went to the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, where I studied integrated rural arts and industry. I specialized in woodwork, metalwork, and rattan and bamboo.
I understand why you build houses.
If you see my houses, you notice that we always have some wood and some metal work in them.
Always.
I claim the fame for the wooden gates.
Yes.
I'm one of the first developers, if not the first, who started using the wooden gates. My first development in 2007 is when I first launched those wooden gates. Prior to that, it wasn't very popular. It's something that I noticed in Cape Town, South Africa, and I brought here, and now it's all over. Everybody puts some wood in their gate. For my thesis in KNUST, when I was leaving, the project I did, I used bamboo to make
Sorry, could you
a casket.
put the onions
Yes,
in
please, you can.
Okay, you use bamboo to make a casket.
I use bamboo to make a casket.
The casket that we used to bury our dead, our deceased.
Yes. Mainly because we were wasting too much valuable wood on caskets. And I thought that if we could convert bamboos to planks, then we'll be able to use bamboo rather than use our valuable wood for burying people. It was more like a waste of wood.
Right. Okay, so we've been having beautiful conversations with Kwadwo Saka here. CEO, founder, owner, whatever term you'd like to use, of Saka Homes, and a very proud Akora, as you can see, right? And we're making Apem and Palava sauce with agushi. Very important. The agushi is a very key ingredient in this meal. So is momoni. So far, what we've done is we've chopped up our red onions, chopped up our peppers as well. We use both green and red Scotch bonnet peppers, and yes, BVS Butchery gave them to us, so you can look for them. We chopped up some tomatoes as well. Kojo, the tomatoes are very firm. Is that how you typically like it for the meal, or does it really matter?
It doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter.
As long as it tastes, well, I don't like the Adan ones for this. Okay. Because it doesn't stay on the fire too long. You need tomatoes that don't have a bite.
Have a bite. Okay, I understand. So basically, tomatoes that are not very sour or very acidic. Yep. You want to go for those kinds of. No, Charlie Kojo, no. You know your way around the kitchen.
For the kitchen business there.
You really know your way around the kitchen.
If I wasn't a developer, I'm sure I'll run a restaurant.
You really know your way around the kitchen. It's impressive. So we put the onions into our zomi, red palm oil, right? We put that into the pot first. When it was hot, we added our onions, let them brown, or just sort of become like a golden brown color. We did that. Then we added the Scotch bonnet peppers, which were chopped, stirred them in a bit, and then added the tomatoes just about, less than a minute later, right?
I'm just picturing myself standing in Dome Market and telling the market woman I want Scotch bonnet pepper.
No, please, do not do that. Do not do that in Ghana markets. No. It's for your knowledge, and then also, again, for those of you who I said don't live in Ghana, wherever in the world you are, you want to make your apim and your palava sauce, but you can't go to the shop and say, please, I'm looking for the green peppers that we use in Ghana, or I'm looking for kwakoshito. They won't know what you're talking. I'm looking for akwele wabi, or I'm looking for ojingma. No. So that's for you. But in Ghana markets, please, just say you're looking for meko, and then you'll find it. Okay. So now the almighty plantains. I realize that you washed them very well. Okay, and like you said earlier, we are not peeling them. Is there a reason why you prefer to do it this way?
Okay, so you notice that usually when we are cooking apim in Ghana, we peel, and after we peel, we scrape off.
Yes.
Yes. If you cook it like this, just watch this space. You don't have to put in the work of peeling. And you don't have to do any scraping. Once it's well cooked, you take off the cover, and it comes with everything that you'd have peeled. Wonderful. So since I discovered it, this is how I cook it.
Beautiful. Where did you learn this?
I don't remember, but I've been doing it for some years now.
Because this is how I cook. So I prefer the ripe plantains. I'm a bit of a sweet tooth, so I prefer, even when I'm doing my palava sauce, to have the ripe plantain. So what I do is, of course, ripe plantain, if you keep it for a while, you can't use it for what you want to use it for. And you either have to do kaklo or farm or throw the plantain away, and we don't want that. So when I get them, I wash them, cut them up like this, and put them in the freezer. So when I'm ready to cook them, I cook them.
And does that not change the taste?
It doesn't. Okay. It doesn't. It doesn't at all. So what I will do is I store them in the airtight bags, either Ziploc or I get the Olunka bags, tie them up very tightly, put them in, and then when I'm ready to cook, I bring them. I don't even let them thaw. They go straight into the water.
That's the trick.
They don't thaw, straight into the hot water.
That's the trick.
So we're getting there. We've put our plantain into our boiling water on fire. And now the agushi. So earlier, what you did was so agushi would typically come in the seed form. This was already ground, so it was powdered. And you added water. Yeah. Why did you do that?
Okay, so it's a trick I learned some years ago. When you're doing the agushi and you want to have chunks of them in the stew, it's better to do it this way than just spread it in as powder.
Okay, so you want to have like that effect where it looks like you have fried egg in there.
You have some fried egg in it.
Looks just chunky.
So that's why I did.
Okay,
I
wonderful.
did it this way.
All right, so you know what? Let's go for a break. When we come back, we continue cooking this delicacy of apem with palava sauce and agushi with Kwadwo Saka. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The show is still What's Cooking, and I'm here with Kwadwo Saka. He's a celebrated Ghanaian businessman, what should I say? A fashion aficionado. You say I'm giving him raps, but we'll talk about that. He also clearly knows how to hold his own in the kitchen. Your father taught you well.
Yes.
He really did, and thank you for learning it. And now I know that you're an artist.
And the school too.
School.
We did some cooking at school.
Oh God, you sound like my dad. My dad is an Akora, and
you know, your dad. What you should listen to what your dad is saying. When we say head of all the hosts, we agree they are a host of schools, but we are the head, and there's a reason why we are.
And I almost went there.
You should have.
I almost did.
You should have.
But then I ended up in Tema International School, of which I am very proud. And a lot of my teachers went to Achimota or taught at Achimota.
Atinana and all.
Yes, Mr. Atinana taught me chemistry, Mr. Pare taught me mathematics, Miss Tortu was our principal, Mr. Lai was my literature teacher. Oh yeah, lots of Akoras.
So TIS is just a private version of Achimota.
And we had a lot of children of Akoras as well.
It's understandable.
We love it. Okay, so right now, there's something very interesting that you're doing with this dish. I have never seen groundnuts being added to palava sauce.
Okay.
But you're Kwadwo Saka, so I'm not surprised
It's as an artist, you should always find something that will make your product unique.
Agreed.
For my palava sauce, I base it with ground peanuts.
Okay.
You will taste the difference when you eat it.
But what brought you to this one? Were you trying it out one day, or
I think this one.
were you like eating palava sauce and then you had groundnuts afterwards?
I told you I host people and I cook.
Yes.
For them.
Yes.
So it's one of the guests who asked me to try this, and when I did it, I realized it was good. So
wonderful.
It's one of the things that I do when I cook.
So how do we go about it?
Just
because you asked for the asanka.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I'm going to do it myself.
Or the apotoriwa.
This one is not blender business. It's proper.
See that.
This is just to put a spin on our palava sauce.
Okay. Should I put some more?
No. That's all. Otherwise, it will become peanut stew. That's not the idea.
No.
It's just to add a twist to what we are doing.
In katikunto.
Yeah. Then a little water.
Oh, you add water?
Yes.
Okay. It's almost like creating a little paste.
A little paste.
Okay. Is this because you don't want the textures to be worlds apart when you put it in there?
No, not really. You know, the stew itself hasn't received much water.
Okay.
And we need some water in it. So this serves as our contribution of water.
Right. Okay, so this is mackerel, smoked mackerel. What a lot of people would call salmon or salmon.
Salmon. This is salmon. We took out all the
bones.
The bones. I don't really like it when I'm enjoying a meal and I have to
Neither
deal
do
with
I. No impediments.
The
We don't
bones,
want any impediments.
I got some help to take it out so that the enjoyment will be without any impediments.
So you're a minister of enjoyment.
As for that.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
You know, I think that as we are growing, we should focus on our enjoyment, because our pain will come anyway. It will come without announcing. I don't know anyone who goes looking for pain, but pain comes. As for enjoyment, it's a decision that you make to do the things you like to do.
Definitely.
People say, I like enjoyment, and they are very right.
And you shouldn't apologize for it.
No apology. As long as the enjoyment is legitimate, it's not infringing on anybody's human rights, I'm okay.
I love it. Love to hear it.
I'm not doing anything criminal.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Love to hear it. Let's talk about your enjoyment. A lot of people follow you on social media.
Yes.
Because of your fashion.
Yes.
I mean, now I know that you're an artist, and like I can't get over that because I'm one myself, and artists unite. But now I understand a little more why you dress the way you do, the attention to detail that you put into what you wear, even your accessories. I'm looking at your watch. Like, just look at that. It's a masterpiece, you know. So what do you consider when you're putting together an outfit in the morning? I mean, today, for example, you told me that you wore white because a lot of chefs wear white and you're showing up in the kitchen, so you're playing on that, you know. But really, what goes into what you wear?
Well, I think it's mainly to do with my art background.
Okay.
And I always wear trainers.
Always?
For every function, I wear trainers. I am not your regular shoe guy.
Why?
It's my style.
Okay.
It's something that I always try to do something unique in wherever I find myself. And one of the things that I'm doing differently is how I dress. Yeah. I worked for an atomic physicist out of Oxford in England.
Okay.
And he always wore trainers. No matter the function, he would appear in trainers. So I took that from him. So I usually wear trainers.
That's interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Now, let's go back to the food. It's time to add the kuntumre.
Yes.
Okay. All right. It's already washed. It's already cut.
Yes.
So we're just putting it right in there. So the kuntumre also came from BVS Butchery. Have you heard of them?
No.
Oh, amazing, guys.
It's impressive the way they have cut it up, because I was now thinking I was going to have to cut it.
And this is just their veggies. They've got all
where
the
are
meat.
they located?
Look, I don't even know.
Are they selling in all the shops, the regular shops?
I don't know, because even when you call them, they'll deliver everything. So they have all the meat, they have seafood, you know, they've got the veggies, and they have the fruits too. And when you call them, place your order, they come with a cold truck, they deposit. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And everything farm to table, Ghana. You know, nothing is imported fresh. So people are doing interesting things. Charlie. People are doing interesting things.
I'm happy it's Ghanaian owned.
Yeah, it is. It is through and through.
It's about time.
Through and through. All right, how's our plantain
it's
doing?
almost ready.
Almost there?
It's almost ready.
All right. We didn't add salt at any point.
I mentioned to you that because we put in some more money, I want us to package the whole thing. Then we taste so that we have a good idea how much salt is in it. Then we'll know, because I don't eat a lot of salt, but because I'm cooking for others, we'll use your palate.
Well, I don't do a lot of salt either.
But why do they say salt is not good? Too much salt is not good.
Well, you know, everything has a bit of salt, just like how many of the glucose, the carbs, they also have a bit of their sugar, so you don't need to overdo it, right? And then there's a heavy correlation between something like hypertension and too much salt intake. Your body can't process it to a certain level. I mean, I'm not a medical professional, but you know, from what we know, what we learn, what we read, what the doctors around us tell us, that's what we know. So moderation.
As for the doctors, now I don't trust them.
Oh, don't say that.
Because the doctors, what they tell us not to do, they do. I have a doctor, he always says, do everything, but do it in moderation.
And then he doesn't?
He does it in moderation.
He does it in moderation. Yeah. Okay. I think we need to just look at this.
The doctor says I should stop eating rice.
Okay. You should stop eating rice.
I told him then I'll die.
Oh my Lord. Okay, so at this point, can we go for a break?
Yes.
All right. Let's go for a break. And when we come back, we'll be at the table. We'll talk about the wanderlust journey, but we also have a very special guest joining us at the table. And we'll talk more about Achimota School very aptly and what it's done for Kwadwo Saka, but also for many, many people in the nation Ghana. We'll be right back. So what's cooking here on City TV? And unfortunately, very sadly, we're slowly inching towards the end of this episode where we've had the mighty Kwadwo Saka come through. And he's prepared a very simple meal, but just as he pours into his houses, he pours into everything that he does in life, he's poured his heart into this meal, and you can smell it. I'm ready to taste it. But we also have a very special, I think I'll love it. We also have a very special guest here with us. But before I introduce her, don't forget that this show is sponsored by Tasty Tom, Ufa Kakra, Na Ye Bebre, and then Taste of Spice, wonderful Ghanaian spice brand. Find them and use their products. You won't regret it, I promise you that. And then we also have Indomie, it tastes great, and BVS Butchery. From meat to seafood to fresh vegetables to fresh fruits, they've got it all. Everything you need to make your meals and your table lush and delicious. So now let me introduce this guest. Kwadwo specifically asked that she come, and I'm very happy that she could make it. Mrs. Charlotte Graves is a one-time headmistress of Achimota School. And in Kwadwo's words, during her time in the school, she mothered the students who passed through the great Achimota School. So you're very welcome, Mommy, to the show. We're very pleased and honored that a great educationist like you could join us here. When we talk of great people, we're thinking of politicians and, no offense, business people. But we forget the educationists, the people who groomed us and made us who we are and taught us how to acquire knowledge and prepped our minds so that we could go into the world. So for me, it's a great honor to have you here. Very, very great honor. And very definitely, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, Kwadwo, maybe I'll serve Mommy first. If you could kindly pass me your plates. Thank you. Okay, Kwadwo, is there a special way that you have to dish it?
No, just
right. Go and ruin your masterpiece. Mommy, please let me know when it's enough.
Yes.
It's enough? Okay. And then
just
use
a couple of.
Okay, so let me just bring it this way for you. You're welcome. Kwadwo. Usually that's the set.
Ladies first.
Oh, you're such a gentleman.
I went to Achimota.
Thank you.
We're actually taught and trained how to live with women.
Mommy, is that right?
Absolutely.
And I remember when I finished my BC, I had wanted to go to Wesley Girls, said I was going to study science, all that. My father said, no disrespect to Wesley Girls High School, the great Wegehe, but none of my children will go to a single-sex school because I myself, having gone to Achimota School, I'd learned that part of our training as human beings for life is knowing how to live with the opposite sex. So I'm not surprised to hear that. Let me know.
It's okay. It's something that we do diligently at Achimota. At dining, we sit with ladies. They sit across the table from us. So you learn how to eat in front of a woman. I noticed that later on in life, a lot of my friends get fidgety when they are eating in front of the opposite sex. And it goes both ways. So Achimota helped with that.
Wonderful.
We are confident when we sit.
Very confident.
Very confident.
Coach, I'll come back to you. Let me speak to Madam Bruggrave. So at what point did you realize that you wanted to enter education, and then along the line, what took you to the Achimota School?
Yes, I entered education because I didn't want to go into certain areas like medicine.
Okay. Is there a reason why you didn't?
When I was at school, I didn't know what profession I'll go in. I didn't want to be a doctor because in those days, most of the doctors were from Europe and Britain and so forth. Very few African doctors. And so those who got to the top were the Europeans and the British and so forth. I didn't want to join that group. And I didn't want to be a lawyer for my own reasons. At that age, I had reasons for not being a lawyer. Then I thought to myself, well, at school in my younger days, primary school, middle school, I used to help teachers. When they were having meetings, they would ask me to take the class. So I said, well, you've been doing this from when you were this little and you enjoyed it, so why don't you go into training and be a teacher? So I did not go to sixth form. Even though I passed with a scholarship to go to sixth form, I still decided I wanted to go into a college to become a teacher. So from Form 5, I went to England straight away to train as a teacher.
Oh my. So how did you, I know your first stint was not at Achimota School.
Right. My first station when I returned from Britain, I was posted by the ministry to Aburi Women's Training College. So my first station was teaching in a training college.
My first encounter with, at the time we called her Apiorkor.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe she will tell us, but I got to Achimota School in 96. She was there, and that's what we called her. She had what we call the smiling Benz. She had a white Mercedes 230. And we'll see her driving. And whenever you see that car, you have to be well behaved if you are not behaving well. So my first encounter with her was at orientation. We had her come to speak to us. She sold us the school very well. She got some Akres to come and also speak to us. At the time, I remember a pilot coming to round BMW. I still have memories of how he sped from the pool area to the chapel and how sharply he was dressed. Then later on in life, I became a prefect, and I happened to have had an incident where I was the assistant house prefect for Adjudged House.
So you're in Adjudged.
Yes, the best house at the time.
The best boys' house.
The best boys' house. Kingsley was the best girls' house.
Kingsley.
Yes.
And as a student, I was in Kingsley.
Yes, Kingsley was the best girls' house.
Yeah, I agree.
I had been reported to her. In all fairness, I think that there was an exaggeration in the report. I panicked because this teacher was speaking about me being demoted and all sorts. And already there was so much opposition against me becoming a prefect. So I was like, oh, the witches have got me. But as fate will have it, when the matter was presented before her, she just gave me some motherly advice, which I'll never forget, and asked that I go, to the surprise of the teacher. And it's indelible in my mind. That day, that incident that happened, two incidents that have happened in my life where you are expecting someone to put the axe down on you, but rather they give you motherly or fatherly advice and let you go. I think it's more impactful than putting the axe on the person, and that left a mark.
What's it like?
Oh, right.
About for small matter will catch me. Why?
Kwadwo and
Palava sauce, man.
Oh, you recognized.
Yes.
Good, well done.
Yeah.
Kwadwo
Hi,
and
Kwadwo. I got my.
Please forgive me. This is my neighbor. He never shows up to help with the cooking, never contributes to the market shopping, but he shows up when I'm eating.
And he dresses quite well.
Yes, yeah. Ready for dinner.
Yeah. Please, when you're the next trip, add me to the trip.
Okay, will you bring your car or you drive with
No, I'll be yours.
And you know everything
the
about my
bucket.
guests.
Hey. You don't want me to.
You'll be in the bucket.
I'll be in the bucket.
You won't survive that.
Can you handle the
No,
bucket?
I like the bumpy ride.
Well, if you could kindly pass this.
Yes.
So let's come to
Thank you.
how was the wanderlust?
It was formed over a bottle of whiskey.
Sounds like some of the words I know.
We normally sit and we love to travel. That's how it was formed. In all fairness, we drive around always. Your neighbor is a foodie.
Yeah. Thank you.
Like,
Just like that, he has taken 4.
Ayefe noche.
You need 4 to be able to grade the food well. Yes, because I'm going to grade you.
I see.
It will be part of your credentials when you're
Why
traveling.
do you need 4?
No, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't tell you.
So we love to travel. We've been driving around Ghana,
Thank you.
and we decided to formalize it and name ourselves. You know, we are wanderers. We like to wander, and we lust to wander. That's how come we call it wanderlust. We are just guys who love to travel.
So you played on the word.
It's a word play, yeah, wanderlust. And the guys in the group, they are crazy. You know, sometimes you just wake up one morning and someone has designed a whole. 2 days ago, we woke up and there was a post, a lengthy one by Kwadwo Saka, chronicling a 30,000 kilometer journey we are going to do. I think we are going to the Olympic Games in France. Then from there, we are going through somewhere to Dubai. And I think we are crossing into a place in Kenya or something funny. But it all comes up to about 30,000 kilometers. And
That's ridiculous.
once you put it there, to the amazement of all, we say, we are ready. So we just have to start putting together the resources. I think this one is going to take 6 weeks. And along the line somewhere, he's saying that we will fly to Ghana to spend time with our family while they ship the cars from Dubai to Mombasa. Then we'll carry on from Mombasa to Accra. So it's just guys who last to wander. That's wanderlust.
Now I remember, because I have contacts with some of the guys who are associated to you. I remember this conversation about the Accra London drive coming up somewhere. Was it 2019 or 2018?
Before COVID.
Before COVID. Yeah, and I heard it and I thought, oh my goodness, how brilliant. What was the reception when you started talking about it and people started getting to hear what you were planning?
Oh, most people thought we were crazy. Most people didn't think it was feasible.
Does that mean I'm crazy too?
But we knew we were going to do it because the group is mainly made up of entrepreneurs, and we know what it takes to be an entrepreneur in Ghana. So once we put our minds to it, nothing was going to stop us. And since we came together as friends, any trip we have said we would do, we do. Any challenge we've taken on. Some of us have gone to climb Kilimanjaro. We climbed Afajato. And we have done so many of such. And we are going to do many more. God given us life.
I knew it would be possible because I've seen the Europeans travel.
They do it all the time.
Yes. You know, they always come. That's actually one of the reasons why we did this, to change the narrative.
Yeah.
Not always,
Because it's always
driving from Europe to. We want to show that it's and in all fairness, it's a beautiful drive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's so beautiful. I don't have words to describe it. I can only wish that everyone will have the energy
Through the pictures
and
the videos,
and the finances to try it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a portion of the drive in Mali from Bamako to Kai in the north, where we drove on a ridge similar to the Kriapem Break.
Wow.
The ridge is green. You know, the grass is a mountain that is covered with slush greenery, very green, and a few trees. And while on that stretch, you know, they say the Fulanis are nomadic.
Yes.
We saw them migrating.
That's beautiful.
It's really beautiful. The ladies with the children in one group on camels, and they built something at the back of the camel, which they use in carrying their stuff. And the men with the herd of animals in the back following them. It's something that you must
Pieces of beauty in one narrative.
I will go back to that spot in Mali in the very near future. If not another, if our next drive doesn't take us that way, maybe with some friends who will drive. We're looking to initiate an Accra-Dakar rally that will go through that spot.
I want to go.
Well, you need to find a good car and find somebody.
Yes, I want to go. We'll find a way to make it happen. For me,
What's the worst that can happen?
You go.
You go. Exactly. Auntie Sha, let me come to when you see or hear about former students like this, you know, and you see the things they're doing, you hear about what they're doing, how does that make you feel? Especially things of this magnitude.
Yes, it makes me feel like we are achieving what we set out to do with the school, because students are brought up to think on, to be able to make decisions towards projects that will be successful. Students are taught to be careful, they are taught to mind their environment, because you see the school compound is laid out in such a way that we have to keep it pristine, and students learn to do that before they leave. So when they go out and when they take on jobs and take on responsibilities, and they're able to finish what they start, no matter how hard. You think with your mind, you use your hands, and you use your heart in whatever you're doing. So when we hear things like this, we know we are achieving what we set out to do with our students. It's an absolute pleasure.
Okay. On Saturday, there's the Achimota School Presidential Ball at the Labadi Beach Hotel. And my daughter, my 16-year-old daughter, 15-year-old daughter, will be my date.
Your dates. Oh, that's so
Looking
sweet.
forward to. She's coming back from school on Saturday, and we're going to get her a nice ball gown, some shoes, and hopefully we'll go and experience what it's like to attend a ball. I am looking forward to a life like that, where I create experiences with my children and I spend time with them. All this work that I'm doing, my kids are my focus, and it's my ardent hope that the good parenting I got, I'll be able to pass over to them. I was telling one of you about my childhood, when my mom would cook and put in a basket, and my dad would take us to Labadi Beach. We'll lay a bed sheet and we'll have a picnic at the beach. Those are the sort of experiences I'm
With me there.
Yes, with me.
Used to be there.
And the band was Skyhawks.
And these are Ghanaian experiences. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg.
But we do that too.
Which is also important.
When my daughter was 8, I took her to Kenya to see their safari, and we did Mauritius, and she always talks about it, and I'm happy I was able to do it with her. So as for family life and kids, I'm looking forward to it. I have young kids. They are, apart from this one, the rest are under 3. So there's a whole life.
Let's count like you likes traveling.
She doesn't like traveling by car. She's not interested in driving even to Kumasi. She wants to travel by air if I will, but this is my wanderlusting around. It's not her business. She's not interested in that. No.
She's not interested.
My sons, I'm sure, will join me.
Yeah. Before you go, let's talk about business. How's the real estate market?
Oh, I want to spoil our mood. Having such a nice afternoon.
I'm sorry. I'm just wondering.
We're struggling at the moment, obviously, because of all that is going on. But we're persistent and we're persistent. And it's I don't hope that Ghana as a country general will pick up so that business can thrive. Because while houses are built for ordinary people, and if they cannot access a mortgage or cannot buy, then we're in no business. So
Okay, I like your optimism. So yeah, so
all
you don't want to
need.
jackpot.
remember,
To borrow our Niger
what,
brothers and
remember
sisters.
what I told you. Make your happiness, because your sorrow will come anyway. So we're pushing on. We're optimistic and hopeful that things will improve. I'm not jackpot.
No.
I'm waiting till the next election. That will decide whether I'll stay or I'll go.
Yes,
I'm just waiting.
in this Kigali matter, you talk about that one. Auntie Charlotte. I just, what do you have to say to educators? I mean, you have been through the mill when it comes to that profession, that industry. What do you have to say to educators of the now who are discouraged, who are facing adverse challenges, even with the structures that exist for them to operate within? What do you have to say to them in terms of, just going through so that they can see what you see, the glory that it brings in seeing that your students, the people you've worked with, young people, have grown to become impactful people in society, not because of money, but because they're great citizens,
Yes. Well, right now, teaching is a very, very difficult profession in this country. To be able to succeed in your work, you need certain things to use in the classroom, to use in the students' houses. You need to direct students in a certain way. But our teachers are so, right now, I don't know about other countries, but in Ghana, they are so busy just trying to keep students in order. Because the schools are so big that it's difficult to, there's discipline. It's difficult to have students understand what teachers are teaching, because the teachers right now are tired. I mean, can you imagine going to work for a whole year without going on leave, and then next year you start at the beginning with a new set of students? You're already tired. So, and then the emolument isn't of a level that you can sort of rest a bit on your oars, and you have to keep, it's like a grind. Our teachers
Constant
are
grind.
Yes, it's an uphill job all the time. They are tired. So what I would say to those who are in charge, some of them have been teachers before, not that they don't know, they know. But when you get to a certain level, I suppose you have to toe the line of the government. But not all the government members have been to, not all of them know what should happen in schools. So what probably the population should do is to stand up, because the children in schools have parents. Their parents and the ordinary person should stand up to what is going wrong in our education system and say that we don't want this. We want an education where the children can like going to school, the teachers will have time to teach, and those in training will be taught properly because the equipment and whatever they need, they have. And not to reverse, go forward, but go forward in a way that is, whoever is involved is doing it in a way that they enjoy doing it. Right now, teachers don't enjoy teaching. They go to the classroom all worked up. They don't enjoy teaching. Please, Ghanaians, stand up for your education, because the young ones coming now are not getting what they should get.
Thank you. Ghanaians, stand up for your education. And on that note, Kwadwo, thank you so much for joining us.
What did the master taster say?
Yes. Can you give me some of the
sauce?
No, that's for the...
No,
this one,
please, yeah.
dessert. I have to
No, but go on. No, but this one we didn't cook it.
You didn't cook it?
No.
But it was prepared.
Yes, but not in my...
Well, can you grade what was prepared? After that, we'll go to the next level.
Okay. So I need a snack or dessert.
You can have it.
Yes. So
I'll pass it.
yes, please. Yes. That would,
But we want your verdict on this one.
to conclude. In fact, wanderlust. We just done it all. Because Adjudged Palava sauce is gone through the desert and come back. What? I'm telling you. So it's international. International, yes. International. International. You do all. Thank you.
Thank you. Don't forget that.
For all your Palava sauce orders, I'm a premium cook.
Yeah,
$100.
Yeah, how are you? No, we'll save and pay.
Okay.
It's worth it.
It's $62.50 an hour.
An hour? Oh, don't worry. We'll give you simple meals so that we don't exceed that time. Thank you so much. Don't forget this show is sponsored by Tasty Tong Fakakra, Naye Bibre, Taste of Spice, BVS Butchery, and of course, Indomie Instant Noodles. It tastes great. My name is Apiorkor. This has been What's Cooking with Bright Be Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.